I call Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, the Select Committee received nearly 5,800 submissions and heard orally from several hundred. There was a lot of disagreement. There wasn't much consensus, but the process was, as the departmental report made clear, robust, and we listened. The process wasn't a waste of time, but it was valuable. We made changes that actually the constituency that John Boscawen's trying to appeal to, as well as others, will appreciate and be reassured by. Firstly, we made it explicit in Clause 27 that the public cannot be charged for access to the common marine and coastal area. Now, arguably we didn't need to do that, but we did. Clause 94 was amended so that negotiated agreements can only now come into effect following scrutiny of this House and legislation. And there are also a large raft of technical amendments asked for by the ports, etc., to ensure that this law works as is intended. As I've said, there was disagreement. People disagreed for completely different reasons. There were those...
Order. I did caution the previous speaker. Third reading. We can only talk about the contents of the bill as reported back from the Select Committee. This is a third reading speech, not a discussion about what happened at the Select Committee. Simon Bridges.
And so I am well aware of the submissions we had. But the question I'd like to pose, Mr Speaker, in relation to this bill and answer and the substance of the bill as reported back to the House is this. What is a responsible government to do in the instance where there is complete discord, where there isn't consensus to be found? How should the government deal with these hard issues? We could throw our hands up in the air and do nothing. Let's call that the ostrich option, where we bury our head in the sand. But that actually just leaves the problem as a problem. Another bolder government that's more equal to the task will still have to find a solution. That's not the kind of government that I ever want to be a part of. We shouldn't just defer problems. Instead, we've dealt with this one. We have balanced the various competing views in the interests of all Kiwis. This means, of course, a number of grumpy people, Steve Chadwick not least of them. But that is better than the ostrich strategy, where ignorance is bliss until the ostrich is finally roadkill. Frankly, with a complex issue like the foreshore and seabed, there is no perfect answer. There's no quick fix, no simple truths that everyone can sign up to. Rather, there are different perspectives where the best we can hope for is the least bad or least wrong solution. I believe we have the best solution possible, even if it may not be, quote, the right one. Labor's solution, and Steve Chadwick makes some faint moan, is their sixth solution to date, to repeal the 2004 law and leave this hard issue to some unelected judges to sort out. That's a cop-out. That response is a cop-out. And I agree with Paul Quinn. One of the problems is you don't know what you'll get, but it's also an abrogation of our responsibility in this House to another, actually less well-equipped branch of government to solve the problem. And I say that less well-equipped as no slight on the judges. It is just that they would have to try and do what we've just done, effectively hold a select committee and listen to the various voices on this and then attempt to balance the competing issues. The problem is they can't. As a jurist, Lon Fuller has noted, they aren't set up for that. Courts are geared up to hear a couple of parties and decide between their competing contentions. They have no process to hear from thousands as we did. We do. We are not going to, as a government, cop out on this difficult issue.
Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. His time has expired.
Speaker.
I call the Honourable Parakura Horomia.
2 up to 10 8.